Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Interest of time, directly get into the subject today. It's a bit complicated or unusual, if you say. It is the mysticism of Vedanta in terms of Carnatic classical music. So, you see the agenda for today. I will brief in, certain slides I put more emphasis, certain slides are just for you guys to view. And when it is recording is done, if it is available, you pause it and you read through the slides, but I will glance and I will move and I will pay more attention on certain slides. Second disclaimer is, today we will be chanting some Veda mantras just for the demonstration's sake, and also we will be singing some Carnatic classical songs in the context of this particular lecture only. We don't be singing the whole songs, and we will pause wherever is necessary. So just bear with us. Hopefully you will enjoy and I'll take back some knowledge from our shastras. So the first thing is Veda Vangmayam or Vangmayam. Vangmayam basically means walk. It's come from walk. It's a treasure preserved with oral tradition. That's called Vangmayam. So then Vedas and Veda mantras and Vedaswaras. Then I will talk about little details about the Nada Bindopanishad. Then I will talk about the Carnatic music swaras and how they are similar to the Veda swaras versus how they differ and how they evolve independently. Then I will talk about the moksha. Then I will talk about the bhakti. Then the eternal bliss and conclusions. And I will take any questions if time permits. So Veda Vangmayam is something like Vedas, obviously. And the Puranas also Vangmayam. Initially, the Puranas, the stories of Puranas are oral tradition until Vedavyasa scriptured them. So these two are Vangmayam, whereas Ramayana and Mahabharata are not Vangmayams. It is actually written. So Vangmayam is 18 Puranas plus 18 Upapuranas, then all 4 Vedas. And all other sources, a lot of Shastras are also part of the Vangmayam, which I have not detailed here. Then comes to the Veda mantras and Veda swaras. So what basically Veda mantras is all about? It's about precise arrangement of sounds. Mantra is just nothing but sounds. Mananat trayate iti mantraha. There are certain sounds which are built in Sanskritam, and every word, every letter in Sanskritam has a meaning. And when you combine those two letters, then a new word new swara come in, then that will have meanings of these two in some realm, and it will give you meaning, and it will goes on. Like our generative way we just talked about. So then Veda mantras has got 2 components. One is correct pronunciation, hitting the correct note. Second thing is maintaining, meditating upon these mantras. Mantra chanting is not just like any other talk or any other speech or news reading. It doesn't work that way. The person who is actually chanting, who should involve in the mantra, and every mantra is dedicated to a particular devata. He has to invoke devata before he chant. He has to meditate upon the devata, and we also have to give him time and room for him to invoke devata within him. And then he will chant. Then there is a purpose, and then there was some meaning to the mantra. Then coming to and of course these mantras are profound realizations of a lot of energies and a lot of aspects. Then we'll come to Veda swaras. Veda swaras actually initially it is only Ekaswara mantra. So that means Gananam Tva Ganapatikam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastam Ekaswaram. Then they introduced Anudattam, Udattam, and Swaritam. It is only for 3 mantras, 3 Vedas. Out of 4 Vedas, 3 Vedas has got only 3 notes, and there are special notes, some special occurrences, that's separate. Rigveda, Yajurveda, and Advarana Veda follow only 3 notes: Udattam, Udattam, and Swaritam. But whereas some Veda, and they're very discreet, very discreet, and there is this is not very musical either. However, when it comes to Samaveda, it is very musical. By nature, it is musical. And it has got 7 notes. But the 7 notes are not as exactly the same as the Sangeeta Shastra Sarigama Padanisa in terms of the order. So here it's called notated as Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturtha, etc. Whereas in Sangeetam it is called Sarigama Padanisa. We have got the name notes. Here there are numbered notes. And if you decode these numbered notes of Samaveda to the Karnataka classical, this swaram actually starts with the Magarisa. Magarisa Niyava. And if you decode this raga, if these swaras into one particular raga, that raga is called Karaharapriya. We will talk about it in detail in the next slides. Then we will talk about Nada Bindopanishad. Nada Bindopanishad is basically talking about, it is from the Rigveda. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Nada Bindopanishad is from Rigveda. Every Upanishad comes from one of the 4 Vedas, and this particular Nada Bindopanishad came from the Rigveda. And I'm only putting the points that are relevant for our discussion. There are so many mantras, but here this is what it is. What it says is, yogis meditate, does the Nadopasana, Praniya Nadopasana, the Omkara Nadopasana. But however, it is not chanting Omkara. So what they will have this Vaishnavi Mudra. They will sit in the Vaishnavi Mudra posture, and they will start listening from the right ear. Why right ear? That's a convention. That is why the Gayatri Mantra Upadesham is given in the right ear, not on the loudspeakers. It cannot be given in mass, mantra initiation. It is just not that way. It has to be not whispered. I cannot say whispered, but it has to be like something whispered is specifically the person who is going to be initiated one-on-one. So, and also it is through the right ear. And also they will cover with a non-conducting material, that is cloth. Okay. So, of course, clothes are non-conducting materials, right? So that is sacred. You cannot mess with this mantra. Anyway, so there is a Vaishnavi Mudra posture, and he will be listening, not outside sounds. He's actually listening inside himself. He meditates and he will listen. He will listen through this right ear. There are 3 stages to the Upasana, right? So the first stage, he will be listening, even though there are no sounds. When he meditates upon, he will listen to huge sounds, heavy sounds, loud noises, like oceanic, the sounds, or waterfall sounds, and heavy drum sounds. Then with the sadhana, he will be listening only more subtler sounds. Something like a small drum, mridangam, or sacred bells, like bells in the temple. Then in the 3rd stage, much more subtler sounds, and very euphonic, like a veena or a flute or a violin. And after that, he don't even listen that. He will be listened to only himself. No noise outside, no noise inside. Then once he concentrates upon the sounds inside, which he cannot even listen to with ears, ears will become dumb, so he cannot listen. Then that Nadopasana will kick in, and he will start enjoying the eternal bliss. Okay, having said that, sorry for that. Then now we learned about that for the at least the swaras and nadas as per the Vedas. Now we will come to Carnatic classical, and we have got, as I said, why isn't that? How do you go back? One more. Yeah. Okay. So it's very sensitive, I said. Yeah. Okay. So Carnatic music, as I said, it starts from Sajjamam. That's a note, but it's one ragam. But here initially, as I said, from the Veda, Samaveda, we took only 7 notes. But over a period of time, in Carnatic classical, they stretched it to 12 physical notes, intangible notes, and then they made that logically, they expanded it to 16 notes. So basically what it is 12 notes, some notes will be pronounced different with a different note, but when the different notes comes in, one of the other notes will vanish, will not be there. So there is a logic, there is an algorithm. I think that is the first greatest algorithm we had. With that algorithm, they derived 72 Malakat ragas, 72 independent parent ragas, which has got all 7 ascending and 7 descending ragas, 7 swaras. So there is no missing note, or there is no repetition note, or there is no Vakra road. Vakra note means detouring, or note, there is no jumping notes. So with that, it evolved over a period of time on its own. It became into its own shastra. When the shastra, when the singing has kicked in, then it is categorized into 2 parts. Two categories. One is Marga Sangita, the other one is Desiya Sangita. Marga Sangita is strictly for devotion, through devotion, mukti. Salvation may not be the right word, I won't use salvation for it. Mukti or moksha. Desiya is for more entertainment, and it changes. It changes based on the culture, based on the customs, based on the situations. It is predominantly for Ranjaka. So given that, then we have this Marga Sangita eternal bliss. So now onwards, demonstration will start, a few demonstrations. Saint Tyagaraja, who believed to be one of the, who is the one of the Trinity, apart from Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshidhar and Shama Shastri. He composed a song just on Nadopasana, and through Nadopasana, how to attain moksha. So in his song, Nadalolade Brahmananda Mandaleka. I will tell you the song, the meaning, and also, of course, I have this meaning here. My son will sing, and once he finishes, then I will come back for the good explanation.
Nadalolude Brahmananda Mandave Manasanada Lolude Brahmananda Mandave Manasanada Lolu Brahmananda Mandave Manasanada Lolu Brahmananda Mandave Manasanada Lolu Sadhu Phala Swadupala Pradasapta Swadupala Pradasapta Swadupala Pradasapta Swadupala Pradasapta Swararaga Nijaya Sahita Swadupala Pradasapta Swararaga Nijaya Sahita Nada Loludai Brahmananda Mandave Manasanada Loludai Hariharatma Bhusurapati Hariharatma Bhusurapati हरिहरात्मा भूसुरपति शरजन्म गणेशादि हरिहरात्मा भूसुरपति शरजन्म गणेशादि वरमौनुलुपासिंचरी వరమౌనులుపాసించరి 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 వరత్యాగరాజు తెలియ వరమౌనులుపాసించరి వరత్యాగరాజు తెలియ నాద లోలుడై బ్రహ్మానందమందవే మనసనాద లోలుడై
So in this song, Tyagaraja addressing ever wavering manas. See, if there is no manas, there is no sankalpa, and there is no vikalpa. There is no creation, there is no destruction. Because it's all this magic is happening because of this manas. That's what he just rendered. So he addressing his manas. Nada lolude. Lola means what is called addiction. In English, it is called addiction. Drunk addiction, all kinds of addictions. This is also addiction. You have to do the sadhana like an addiction. 7 by 24 by 7, 365 days. That's how you have to do the Nadopasana. Nadaloludai, then once you get addicted, once you practicing, then you will achieve the eternal Maha Brahmananda Mandave. Very clearly mentioned, it is not any one happiness over the other happiness, it is just a Brahmananda. That's what we just saw in the Nadabindu Upanishad. Now we are saying in the Sangeetam. And here he also said, he took the 7 notes with so many combinations, there are so many ragas, but all of this will give you righteous wishes, right? Whatever you ask for, it will fulfill all your needs. But see, your aim is not to get the materialistic things, you have to get the Brahmananda. And he also mentioned who are all practiced this. And eternally, Hariharatma Bhusurapati. Harihara means Shiva and Vishnu. Bhusura means Indra. Padesharajanma Ganesha. Ganesh, Murugan, all the 6 schools of philosophies we have, right? All the 6 schools, all the people who actually head of these schools practiced it eternally. But on the earth, Varamau Upasinchiri Varamau. Munulu means the one who maintains silence, who are quiet. Those people actually practiced this Nadopasana and attained the moksha. So that's it. Then we have got. So as I said, it is evolved, right? Music is evolved and it's independent Shastra. And each note is the sound of an animal. And also each note is devoted one of the chakras of the body. And also it is also dedicated one of the devatas. Right? So I gave you the chart just for your information. Then we talked about what is moksha. We talked about if you practice it, you will get moksha, right? What is moksha? Is it a degree in a UT? No, not necessarily. So let's say, so for that, okay, so this is so sensitive. Okay, so what is moksha? So moksha is actually first come from Vedas, right? So what actually Vedas said about moksha? How do you attain it? And what you are supposed to do, or what you are not supposed to do. Both are there, right? You have to avoid certain things and you have to practice certain things, right? So then there is a beautiful Veda mantra for that, and we will chant, both of us will chant, Nakarmana na prajayadane Pay attention, and I will explain. I mean, explanation is already there. I may give you a brief details once we are done. Okay.
అంత తెలీదు.
పట్టుకుని చెప్తూ ఉండు. ఇద్దరు చెప్పు. ఓం న కర్మణానం ప్రజయా ధనేన ధ్యాయేనైకే అమృతత్వమానసుః పరేణ నాగం నిహితం గుహాయాం విభ్రాజతే ధన్యతయో విశంతి వేదాంత విజ్ఞాన సునిశ్చితార్థా సన్యాస యోగా గతయః శుద్ధ సత్వాః ते ब्रह्मलोके दुपरान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ते सर्वे धारं विपापं परमेश्वं भूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्य संकृष्टं तत्राविरहरं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपाचितं यं यो वेदादौ स्वरः भ्रोङ्गो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनं जायः परस्य महेश्वरः. So it has got two parts. There are three parts actually. The first part, middle part, and the last part. We'll talk about, for this context, we'll talk about the first and the last. First part is nakammananam prajaya dhane nandyage naige amrutatvamanasuh. That is the first part. Yo vedadav swaram brongo vedante ja pratishtitah tasya prakritili nanjaya parasa maheshwara. The last part. What is the first part is saying? You cannot achieve moksha. Three things usually you work through. One is karmana. Any deed you do, whether good, bad, ugly, you don't attain it. Karmas doesn't help. Na karmana, na dhane. Dhana means money, wealth doesn't help. You cannot buy because just because you have a billion, you are a billionaire, you cannot go somewhere and shop around for moksha. It just cannot be done. Na karmana, na dhane, na karmana, na prajaya. Prajaya means help. You cannot take somebody's help. All of you cannot help me to attain moksha. Attain moksha is just by yourself. That's your own thing. People can suggest, but they cannot help. They can give you the route, or they can correct, but they just cannot give because they don't have it to start with. Right? So what is that? Tyagam eka. Only by tyagam. Tyagam means, literally, loosely means sacrifice. What do you sacrifice? If you give dana, that is if you think that is a dana, doing a dana is a sacrifice, absolutely wrong. That is not a tyaga. That is a help. Somebody is in different privileges, then you help them. That is help. That doesn't give you satisfaction, but doesn't give you moksha. Very clear. What do you tyaga? What do you do tyaga? So you have to sacrifice your own identity. Your identity comes out of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. If you remove all this, you don't have identity. You cannot tell I am this because that I is gone. When I is gone, you cannot say I am so and so, right? The very identity you are taking out, that identity consists of all these 6 qualities, right? You remove all these qualities. Then, whatever is not belongs to you, always strive for it, just stop it. So, all these things will be done. That's what he is saying here, and we will have that similar thing in the music. I will tell you at that time. And the last part I said in this mantra, last part it says, Yo vedadav swarah prokto. Vedanteja pratishtitah tasya prakrutilīnasya yah parasya maheshwarah. So in the very beginning of the Veda, you have got this Omkaranada. And it is end, there also is ends with the Omkaranada, the entire thing. And in between it is the dynamics of the Omkaranada. The Omkaranada is the Pranavanada. It's all its dynamics. Ultimately one have to reach this eternal bliss consists of this Omkaranada. Pranavanada. So now, this is moksha, right? Then what is bhakti? We said through bhakti we get moksha, right? So what is bhakti? We have to know what is bhakti, right? So surely it is intangible thing. I say I am very great bhakta of Shiva. Okay, fine. If somebody says I am very great bhakta of Narayana, and somebody say I am a little bhakta of Shiva. How do you measure this? Can you quantize it? And who is a better bhakta? Can you qualitize it? You don't know. And if you are serious, if you are honest to yourself, if you ask the same question for yourself, whether I am a bhakta or not, you don't know. You don't know. Today you will say something, tomorrow you might say something, because you are not firm on it. In the same situation, Saint Tyagaraja also underwent. Then he introspected and he questioned. Then he came up with, he just don't know what is Bhakti Marga. And his own kriti, Teliyaledu Rama. Just Pallavi, Anupallavi.
Teliyaledu Rama, Teliyaledu Rama, Bhakti Marga Munu, 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 Teliyaledu Rama. Ilanantata, Ilanantata, Tiruguchunu, Ilanantata, Tiruguchunu, Ilanantata, Tiruguchunu, Kaluvalinchudaruga, Teliyaledu Rama, Bhakti Marga Munu, Teliyaledu Rama, Bhakti Marga Munu, Teliyaledu Rama.
So in the Pallavi, he said, I just couldn't figure it out. And in the Anupallavi, he says, for that bhakti, to figure it out, he just went around the earth. Ilanantata means on the entire earth, he is going around like a rolling ball gains no weight. He went to this, he went on pilgrimage several times. But he is questioning whether I have bhakti or is it just a traveling thing, right? So you have to have that particular honesty yourself, whether you are bhakta or not, before you do the sadhana. Of course, right? Second thing. And here also, then, you see, if you don't have something, either you have to beg, borrow, or steal, right? Or other means also, but these are more softer ones. So, but this bhakti is also I think is bhakti, it has got also three types. One is a sattva, more soft, rajas, more rajasic in nature, and tamas in nature. So we have got some examples of Sattva-guna bhaktas like Prahalada or Bhakta Ramadasa. They are unprecedented, unconditional bhakti. Then Rajas, Ravanasura. Ravanasura is also a great bhakta, but he is called Rajasic. You know what he did? He cut his tummy and he pulled out his intestines and he made those intestines as strings and he started playing music to please Ravanasura, Lord Shiva. That is all Rajasic. You cut him and you can pray might as well. Very simple words, right? But he is Rajasic. Next is a Tamasic, is Vali. Usually this Brahmin community does the Sandhya Vandanam in the morning. So sun rises in the east. So we will say we will face the east and do the Sandhya Vandanam. That is normal practice. But this Vali guy, he is very mighty. So, and he can fly on his own. You don't need any vehicle. He's a monkey by nature. So he does, so sun rises in the east all the time, right? And he moves around. And in one particular time, sun rises in one particular place, sun rises in one particular time. So this guy go to the east side of the country, he does a Sandhya Vandana. Before he rises on this other direction, he goes there and he does a Sandhya Vandana again. No need to do that. You just sit at one place, pay attention to your own stuff and do the Sandhya Vandana. This is a tamasic way of doing the tamasic way of bhakti. But Saint Tyagaraja, because he is in doubt, he don't have any problem, he don't have any ego problem, he went straight to the God, sat right in front of him and begged him. What he begged for? He begged for Sattvika Bhakti, the way Prahlada and Ramadasa has. Bhakti Bichmayave?
Bhakti Bhechamiyave, Bhakti Bhechamiyave, Bhakti-ta Bhakti Bhechamiyave, Bhakti-ta Bhakti Bhechamiyave.
Then he also said, when bhakti is gratitude, right? Sometimes bhakti is gratitude. Then there will be an emotional, you add emotion to the gratitude and it will become emotional gratitude. So once you pleased with God's boon, then you reciprocate. You can reciprocate with a couple of dollars or $200 or 200 crores or whatever. And also you give so many ornaments to the Murti, that statue, right? He's questioning, is there any bhakti in those kind of emotional gratitude stuff? Pranamule nivanigi bangaru bagayu, Pranamule nivanigi bangaru bagayu, Bhushanamulu andu bettari janamula puranagama shastra veda japa prasanga prana galgiye nibhakti tyaga bhajanu rama bhakti. Here two things. First two sangyas talks about the emotional gratitude towards God and adorning him with all the jewelries. Second part is studying so much about him, talking about so much about him, but inside you are empty. You don't have bhakti. And that's a questionable bhakti. That's what he's saying. I don't want these questions. I just want a perfect bhakti. That is his, he's begging. Next. Now, at this point, you should ask, why so much sweat? Why can't you just go to Desi Marga and just learn few songs and just entertain people and get some claps and name, fame, whatever? Why do we have so much disciplined life and so much Nadopasana, sitting alone, you're sitting alone and singing to yourself, practicing over and over at the same time? He also got the same questions. See, these are all our masters. They experienced and expressed. Okay, so and here he composed this confusion into two kritis. One is Shiva Shivayana Radha, the other one is Andhara Mahanubhavalu. And here, whoever is actually followed the Marga Sangita, they question themselves like, where these swaras came from? It came from Vedas. And what does Vedas talked about? They talked about the Almighty's creation and evolution and dissolution and recreation. It's all talk about the dynamics. That's why the scriptures are so many, because it's talked about everything possible in the universe. Every science that we have today, it's already in there, but it's very difficult to decode them because it's encoded in a different way. Now, so because it is brought over from Vedas, then they said, okay, we will dedicate all his music, all the Sahitya, only to bring out the essence of Vedas or the subjects mentioned in the Vedas. Okay, so that's why then this is Rishi Proktam. The Vedas are followed by rishis, and they have got very strict disciplined life to experience the universe, right? So we have to do the same thing. We have to have a very strict disciplined life, and also we have to follow. We have to maintain a lineage. Lineage means if I have to, I have to obey my guru, whatever he says, and of course I can always improvise it. So the parampara they maintain, that's lineage they maintain. And Shiva and Narada, he mentions about why you should say and how you should practice music, and what are all the things you have to give up. Okay, just play one sangati. Shiva and Narada. Pallavi and Pallavi. One sangati.
Shiva Shiva Shivaya Narada Shiva Shiva Shivaya Narada Oh Shiva Shiva Shivaya Narada Oh Shiva Shiva Shivaya Narada Ori Bhava Bhaya Badala Nara Chukorada Shiva 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 Yanarada Ori Bhava Bhaya Badala Nara Chukorada Shiva 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 Yanarada Kamadula tega kosi Kamadula tega kosi Kamadula tega kosi Bara bhamala baruda dhanamuna kosi Kamadula Degagosi Parabhara Varunadhanamuna Gosi Pamaratvamu Pamaratvamu Nedabasiyati
So he mentioned, we started with the song, 3 times chanting Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. One is for Manasa, Vaja, Karma. These are 3 gunas, right? All the 3, with all the 3, not just by say one, Vaja, not by Karma, not by Manas, all the 3. That's why 3 times. And because you said it 3 times, 3 things, I mean, he protect us removal of obstacles, overcoming of fear, bhava, bhaya, badha, and subduing things. Then, cleansing of heart, you have to cleanse yourself, right? That's where the Tyaga comes in. One kind of Tyaga is just giving up of a cleansing, right? All the dust. The dust is because of the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Mada, Matsaryas, and all the things what you are not belongs to you. Then, what should you concentrate on? You have to concentrate on Paratattva. Only attaining the eternal bliss, nothing else. No materials. Next, then here we talked about the knowledge. In the beginning, there are 2 things, right? One is maintaining the lineage and what kind of qualities composer should have. He has to follow the lineage of the rishis. And most importantly, he has to have a lot of knowledge. What kind of knowledge? And that would be, he expressed in another kriti, it's called Endaro Mahanubhavlu, and that's this.
మీరే వాడాలి.
నేనే పాడినా. భాగవత రామాయణ భాగవత రామాయణ శాస్త్ర పురాణములన్ శివాది షణ్మతముల గూఢములన్ మొంబది మొంకోడి సురాంతరంగముల భావంబులనెరిగి భావరాగలయాది సౌఖ్యము చిరాయువుల్ గిలిగి నిరవధి సుఖాత్ములై త్యాగరాజనులైనవారెందరో అందరికీ వందనములు ఎందరో So, as the slide says, first of all, you have to know Bhagavatam, Ramayanam, Bhagavad Gita, Shruti. Shruti means Vedas. Shastra means astrology, numerology, and so many Shastras we have. Then, of course, also Puranas. Then we have got 6 schools of worshipping, right? Shaivism, Siddhi Vaishnavism, Shanktayam, and all that. You should know all of them because we have to have mutual respect with each other. And when you compose a song, you cannot have a derogatory comments on the other practicing worship practices. Then you should have knowledge on 33 crores. Mukkoti, crore is crore. Mukkoti, koti means not actually crore. It is called the type. In Sanskrit, the literal meaning of koti is type. So he has got 33 types. You have to know all, because these are all the ones who is actually controlling our earth, the life on earth. So this 8 vasu, Astavasus, 12 Dwadasa Adityas, Ekadasa Rudras, and 2 other. In one school it is called Ashwini Devatas, in other school it is called Indra and Prajapati, but it is one and the same thing. Then later, once you have, this is all the knowledge portion on the Shastras. Then he is talked about the knowledge on the music. So the music has got a lot of elements. First of all, bhava. You should have a feeling when you sing. Then raga. If we talked about the ragas in the beginning, like we have got 72 major ragas and thousands of sister ragas in the other slide. Then the laya. Laya means the beat, and etc. Adi means etc. So there are so many musical elements. One should have all knowledge on all these musical elements and all this knowledge on the Shastras. And then you have to start composing music. He is not only saying you should know all this, whoever knows this, he is actually offering his salutations. Endaro Mahanubhavulu, Andariki Vandanamalu. Vandanamalu means salutations. Now one of the last slides. For this, there is only one more slide. Here, Veda is actually given by Almighty. Apaurishayam. We do not know who actually originally composed it. We believe this Almighty gave us to rishis and the rishi parampara continued. But music is actually evolved by human beings, right? Because even though Saptaswara is taken from the Samaveda, later is actually developed by a lot of great scholars. So, whoever, as long as you maintain the sacredness of these swaras with correct pronunciation, raga, laya, bhava, everything, you would like to make sure the next generations, the future generations, will have this knowledge to excel, right? For that, he himself blessed it. Shobhillu Saptaswara. That is a blessing. Because every good, marriage day, once a marriage is done, there will be an Ashirvachan. He actually blessed the swaras whom he practiced. Shobhillu Saptaswara.
అనుభవం ఒకటే పడతాయి.
అన్ని సంగతులు కూడా అక్కర్లేదు.
नाभिरुत्कण्ठरसना 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 साधूल यन्तु नाभिरुत्कण्ठरसना साधूल यन्तु सा सा नि स नि प म ग नि प म ग रि स नि सा सा म ग प म नि प स नि ग रि स ग म प नि सा सा प स नि प म नि प म ग म प स प म ग रि स सा म ग रि स सा नि प म म ग रि स स ग म प नि सा सा नि प म म ग रि स स नि स ग रि स म ग रि स म प नि प म ग रि स सा नि प म ग रि स नि स ग म प नि सा नि प नि सा ग रि स म ग रि स नि प नि सा ग रि स म ग रि स ग म नि प प स नि प म नि स ग रि स ग म प नि శోభిల్లు సప్త స్వర సుందరుల భజింపవే మనస శోభిల్లు సప్త స్వర
Saptaswara. Saptaswara. So that's the blessing of Saint Tyagaraja and the Saptaswaras. So what he says. So we said Anudatam, Udatam, Swaritam in the earlier slides, right? Here Nabhi means belly button,
Diaphragm.
tummy button.
Diaphragm.
Huh?
Diaphragm.
Button.
Ikkade నుంచి వస్తుంది.
Nabhi literally means belly button or tummy button, whatever you call, okay, in English. Okay. So that's where the swaram, the sajjamam starts there. Even that is the in the one table I gave you, right? For the chakras, that's chakras cycle starts there. From there, it goes to Hrudayam, it goes to Kantham, it goes to the jaws, and it goes to the nose. All this, when you pronounce them correctly, they know only those swaras only he blessed. All other things they come and go, but he would like, we wanted these swaras to alive for the next generations. That's why there's blessings. Now, okay. So far so good. We are almost the last slide. Coming to the last slide. So we talked about Vedas, Vangmayam, then we talked about the Vedas, then we talked about the Veda Swaras, then we talked about the Samaveda Swaras more specifically, and from the Samaveda Swaras we got the Sangeetam, and Sangeetam has got evolved on its own. That's so far so good. Then we talked about Tyagam. Tyagam has got two aspects. One aspect is Bhakti, the other aspect is giving away everything and go to the sannyasa ashrama. You must have read on the slides. So to attain what? To attain eternal bliss. Did I say what is eternal bliss? Did you taste it? No, right? So without telling you what actually eternal bliss, I said you do this, you get eternal bliss. You do this, or you have got so many ways to get eternal bliss. What is this eternal bliss business? Right? So for that we have to have Brahmana. You cannot believe me because I am nobody, right? I born in so and so year, I have got some limited lifetime and I will go. But what happens to the eternal bliss? It will be all the time. That's why it is eternal. And what is it? Just pay attention. This is the last slide. So the eternal bliss. So we have got this roller coaster, right? You know roller coaster, right? Roller coaster, what does it give you? Can you take anything back after paying him money? After taking some rounds, you don't get anything back. You had some experience. That's experience. So we quantized, and there is a quality also. Because how do you define this quantity and quality? How did you commercialize it? Because the height of the wheel, how high it goes, and how many rounds he goes, and what is the speed of the rounds, etc. Right? That's enough. He quantized and he is commercialized. 3 rounds, $10, 5 rounds, $15, whatever. So to measure this eternal bliss, you cannot say this is better than that. I mean, that is not even relevant. So they said, this is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. They said, okay, we need a unit. First, let us define a unit of blissness, right? So the unit, they took the minimum unit, the base unit for the bliss, to measure the bliss, not the bliss. Imagine a young person is a good person and he has got all the knowledge in the world, and he is very disciplined and resolute and very strong person, and he has got everything available on earth. He has got wealthiest person on earth. Everything is his. If you imagine a person like that, when he enjoys not just one BMW car or a Ferrari, he has got everything on the earth. If you think that he has got a unit of your blessing unit of 100 times to that bliss is a human Gandharva. 100 times to the human Gandharva is a celestial Gandharva. 100 times to celestial Gandharva, it is a Pitruloka. People at Pitruloka enjoys it. 100 times to their enjoyment, Ajanaja Gachman, they born in the sky itself. They don't come to earth. They born there, they take the birth there, they live there. Then Aja means they did not born. I mean in here. Next the Karma Devatas. 100 times to the Karma Devatas, it is the whatever Devatas we talked about. Agni Devata and all that Devatas, right? You invoke within Agnihotra. Then 100 times to such enjoyment is the Indra, the king of Devatas. 100 times to his enjoyment, his bliss is Brihaspati. 100 times of the Brihaspati joy is Prajapati. 100 times to his is Hiranyagarbha, that's Brahman. 100 times to Hiranyagarbha is the one who is a realized soul. That is the bliss. If you just count mathematically, it is 10 to the power of 22 zeros. 22, 10 to the power 22. Plus, everything included. You see, you say the dark line, black lines and blue lines, right? It is not that he will get only 100, 10 to the power of 22. He plus 120, 10 to the power 22 plus 100 times 100 square, 100 square, 100 to the power of 4, 100 to the power of you have to arithmetically do it, you will get almost around 10 to the power of 23 times. That is the bliss is defined in Vedas. That is the Upanishad saying. So we have got, so to attain this, there are two margas. One is Pranavopasana. Just sit idle, in the Vaishnava Mudra, not idle. Vaishnava Mudra, pay attention to the sounds that you are listening. Even though it's in Himalayas also, you listen to the oceanic sounds and waterfall sounds and all big sounds. Then you will more subtler sound and more subtler sound, and there is no sound. That is one Pranavopasana. Then in Sangeetopasana, you have got to have this strict discipline. You follow that, and you learn the music, learn the shastras, and practice them, and try to achieve somewhere here or absolutely there. All right. So the conclusions. Let's add another slide. Last slide. Yeah. So Veda mantras have discrete as well as very musical flow notations. Musical swaras originated from Samaveda and evolved into Shastra over a period of time, describe the eternal bliss quantitatively and quantitatively, and Pranava sadhana of yogis, mantra sadhana of Veda Pandits. So there is a Pranavanadam and there is a mantra. Mantra is different. Veda Pandits does the mantra. They also get the mukti through the mantra chanting. Of course, I gave you the rules, right? You have to pronounce it correctly, and you have to have the emotion carry a bit. You have to understand the meaning, the devatas in between the notes, while the mantras and discipline Sangeeta sadhana all will align at one point of time. That is, thank you.